Every country dreams of becoming developed, but only a few truly make that transformation. Some nations stay trapped in poverty for decades, while others rise from nothing to global prosperity within a single generation. What separates the successful from the stagnant? Let us explore the 7 pillars that underdeveloped countries must build to become prosperous nations. The first pillar of development is leadership. And it is the foundation upon which everything else stands. A nation's destiny is shaped by the strength, discipline, and vision of its leaders. The countries that successfully developed didn't rely on luck. They relied on leaders who created national plans that outlived politics. Singapore's transformation began when Lee Kuan Yew insisted on competence, clean governance, and long-term thinking. Rwanda's recovery was driven by discipline, order, and accountability under Paul Kagame. South Korea rose when President Park Chung-hee pushed industrialization with relentless focus. Leadership determines whether a nation moves forward, stays stuck, or collapses. It is the spark that ignites development. The second pillar is economic structure, what a country actually produces. Underdeveloped nations typically rely on exporting raw materials, crude oil, minerals, cocoa, timber. But wealthy nations export value-added products, refined oil, electronics, automobiles, and technology. The shift from extraction to production is the turning point. When a nation starts processing, manufacturing, and building industries instead of just exporting raw goods, wealth begins to accumulate. A productive economy creates jobs, increases tax revenue, and reduces dependence on foreign imports. It is the engine of development. The third pillar is education, not just certificates, but real skills. Every country that rapidly developed invested heavily in building the minds of its people. South Korea was once poorer than parts of Africa. Today, it leads the world in technology because it built a culture of education, engineering, and technical mastery. Education turns the population into human capital, the single most powerful resource any nation possesses. Students become innovators. Workers become problem solvers. Communities become creators. Skills build nations. The fourth pillar is infrastructure, the backbone of every developed economy. Roads, bridges, railways, airports, seaports, electricity, and internet connectivity. These are not luxuries. They are the arteries that carry opportunity. Infrastructure reduces the cost of doing business, connects farmers to markets, brings investors into cities, and links citizens to education, healthcare, and jobs. China lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty by building roads, power grids, and factories before anything else. Infrastructure is the foundation upon which economic growth can stand. The fifth pillar is finance, the flow of money that fuels development. Poor countries remain poor when their financial systems cannot support long-term investment. Development requires pension funds, stable banks, insurance companies, and development finance institutions that provide affordable capital to businesses, farmers, manufacturers, and innovators. Malaysia used its national pension fund to transform its economy. Nigeria, on the other hand, struggles because most long-term capital is trapped or mismanaged. When capital flows into productive sectors, nations grow. When it flows into consumption and corruption, nations decline. The sixth pillar is governance, strong institutions, transparency, and the rule of law. This is the silent system that determines whether a nation thrives or fails. Corruption destroys development by stealing resources, weakening trust, and discouraging investment. Without good institutions, everything else collapses. Countries like Estonia, Singapore, and Botswana show how strong governance transforms societies. Digital systems, efficient public services, and accountable leadership create environments where businesses and citizens can succeed. Institutions turn development from luck into a system. The seventh and final pillar is social cohesion, the unity within a nation. No country can develop when its people are deeply divided, and they see themselves as divided without a common vision. Unity creates stability. Stability attracts investment. Investment fuels development. Mauritius is one of Africa's most stable countries because it embraces diversity and equality. Rwanda's unity programs healed a broken nation. When citizens believe they are part of one national family, development becomes possible. The path from poverty to prosperity is not a mystery. It is a system, a blueprint. Leadership, a productive economy, quality education, strong infrastructure, reliable finance, good governance, and national unity. These are the 7 pillars that every nation must build. And any country, no matter where it begins, can rise if it commits to these principles. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more insights on how nations grow, transform, and prosper.